It's a little homage. Homage. It's a little homage. You know what that is? That's that's Gold Cliff IPA. Little homage to 808 State. Yes. Welcome back to another beautiful Wednesday night. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I'm already 4 in tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, my producer Paul decided he was going to take an early vacation because he is celebrating his wedding anniversary. He's way up in the mountains with his wife. So make sure that you drop Mr. Paul Feinberg some love on Twitter and YouTube. Congratulate him. He's been married 45 years. I don't know, 45 or no, 15, 9, 12, 15, 20. I'm sure Chelsea's going to yell at me later. She's going to be like, it's 15, it's 20, it's 30. Anyways, Mr. Paul Feinberg's not with me, but a man who is no stranger to solo creation, to survive in the wilderness, to flying FPV, breaking shit, drinking scotch, whiskey, and tequila all in one sitting, is joining me tonight, replacing Paul for only one evening. I have this gentleman, Mr. Jake Sloan.
Good to be here.
The man, the myth, the legend.
I didn't realize that Paul had been married for 57 years, but...
You know what? Odd things happen when I drink. Odd things happen.
Well, I was starting to wonder how many you've had before the show began. Having trouble
Funny story,
Wednesday.
because you'll notice that tonight started at 9:30. Usually we start at 9. So my brother-in-law, we've been doing this thing tradition. It's guys' night. Usually Wednesday night is guys' night, but for the past couple of weeks, I've been negating nice night. I've been having guys' night, just not with him. So I've been foregoing guys' night because of drone brews. And we've transitioned guys' night to Thursday night. But finally I said, you know what? Let's just do it, dude. Let's do it. We're doing guys' night. We're doing it. So I said, I'll just push the stream back to be a little bit later. It's going to be like, I don't know, a later stream. And it worked out because you're the guest. You're not the guest. You're the co-host. You're the man, the myth, the legend, the co-host.
Yeah.
And you stream on Wednesdays too. And I was like, don't rush your stream because I'm going to be drunk. That's not what I said, but basically that's what I said. And so you did, and you were like, you're such a good sport. Like, the one thing that I appreciate about you, Paul, and anybody, even Russ, is that you guys are good sports. Like, unconditionally, if I'm like, hey, can you guys do this? You're there. So thank you so much, Jake, for always having my back and being there. So we've got a cool show tonight. Yes, I am 3 deep already, maybe more because I also had a margarita, but we're drinking Gold Cliff IPA. This is a tropical pineapple from Kona Brewing, straight out of Hawaii. So what are you drinking, Jake?
Well, it's nothing fancy. It's cream soda. I've got to run my wife to the airport after the stream's over. So
what time is it out there in Australia?
In Australia?
Australia.
I'm not sure what time it's in Australia, but it's, up here it's 5:37.
Okay. What time has she got to get to the airport?
About 9 o'clock. So
the airport's felt relatively close. Ken Herring, thank you so much, dude. Some belated gas money. Dude, you know what? You know what was funny about driving up to Connecticut? I'm really drunk. Driving up to Tennessee to see Ken, the gas was actually really, really reasonable. It was $1.85, and we were just mind blown because we were going to Minefield, so naturally we'd be not mind blown. But I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I should go up and hang out with him more often because it's a cheap trip. It was really super fun. So Ken, thank you, man. Thanks for having us up. I was watching over some of the footage of this recent trip to the Minefield, and just sort of watching Kelly's footage and watching Ken's footage. We had a really good time. It's like when you hang out with your buddies, your friends that you've known forever, and I feel like I've known both of them forever. It was just, I don't know. It was a really good time. It was a seamlessly good time. And who would have thought in the middle of nowhere you can fly and rip and just do all that crazy shit It was an awesome time. It was an awesome time.
It looked like an awesome time.
It
From
really
the videos
was,
I've
man.
seen so far, it looked awesome.
It was the most normal time that I've had in forever. It made me forget about all the weird stuff that 2020 has presented. Because like for about 5 hours, everything was normal. Yeah, we were wearing masks and stuff like that. But for about 5 hours, you just close your eyes and you're like, all right, it's everything is normal. It was
That's
pretty
it.
damn cool.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. Like last week, I was down in Illinois doing some filming for a job, and was working with a crew of like 15 other people. And I mean, we're wearing masks, everybody's being careful
Yeah.
and stuff. But I was like, one of those things where you're like, holy crap, it's nice to
It
just be
feels
around
good.
people. Like,
Yes.
and yeah, this world.
I miss just being around other people. Like I think it's one of those things that we all take for granted is that thank you Metro Drones, and it was good to see you out there. He drove 11 hours from Michigan to be up down there. I think it's up there. Matt, welcome to the Brew Crew, by the way. So Metro Drones drove 11 hours from Michigan to be down there. And it's like crazy. We all drove all this distance to be there for like 5 hours. But you know what? If I had to do it all over again, it was totally worth doing. I would easily do it again. I'm glad I went because it was super fun. Plus, too, is Ken's birthday, so that was awesome. And Kelly was there, so it's awesome. The drone community as a whole, looking around, like everybody who's there, just awesome people. I can't say enough great things about any of them. So, really good stuff. But yeah, being around people is definitely one of the most underrated things of 2020. I think
So too. Yeah. You didn't realize how much you missed it until this year. And then it's like, holy crap, I miss being able to get around a crowd of people and not be weird about stuff.
You really do miss it. And like, I'm socially awkward to an extent. It's funny, like I seem outgoing, but I'm socially awkward to an extent. My wife picks up on it first. But I am awkward in large gatherings. But it felt good to just hang out and fly and not really care. The mask thing didn't really bother me as much. I would do anything just to be out and around people at this point.
Yeah.
So,
agreed.
So today, what happened today? We had a phone gimbal release today, apparently.
Yeah, I saw one or two videos about it in my feed. Like
my thought process on
videos
phone
later.
gimbals. I mean, I get some people are heavy on their phones and they use their phones for a lot of things, but I guess I'm pretty spoiled having to use gimbals with an actual camera that I don't have a use for a phone gimbal. And the last Osmo Mobile really put a bad taste in my mouth because it was overheating the phone and it just didn't seem usable.
Yeah, for the first probably year I put videos on YouTube, I filmed it with an iPhone 6S and the original Osmo Mobile. And it was good. It was great. And then once I got into like not a real camera, but like the A7 III,
sure.
Or whatever I was shooting then, Canon something or other. It just made I don't want to have a phone and a gimbal and a regular camera and a bunch of like I try to pare my stuff down as much as I can and just be able to run and shoot around with one thing. And then the thing is with the new phones, the stabilization in the phones has gotten so much better. It's almost like if you can walk sort of steady and hold the phone sort of still, the stabilization takes care of everything else. It's really
and I think Techier Talk says it best. He goes, if I'm using my phone instead of my camera, that means I want a super small form factor. That's right. Like you want to just be able to get the shot. You're not going to put it in a gimbal. Like it sort of negates the fact of like having a phone gimbal, because if you're going to take that extra time to put it in a phone gimbal, you might as well just break out an actual gimbal at that point. Maybe I'm being snobbish because I have a camera, but I guess not everybody has a camera. But I don't know. There's so many different phone gimbals on the market. And the other thing that makes me sort of leery is the motor is still directly behind the back of that camera.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, like, for phones that have the wireless charging in, the little sticker thing you put on there, does that mess up the wireless charging or not?
I don't know.
Russ is in the chat here. Maybe he can answer that question.
Maybe
I did
he
watch
could.
his video today. He was like one of. I watched 2 videos about it today. Russ was one.
Russ was
Hood.
one, and I watched one others. I think I watched Moments video on it. I watched Russ's and Moments.
I
Other than
watched
that,
Russ's and iPhonedo, and then I was like, okay, I don't need to watch any of the other 37 videos about it.
it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm just
Like, that also proves the point. Like, I'd rather not be first with certain products, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, like, because there's just this plethora of videos. It happens every time there's a new release. Everybody's first, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's just your video's buried. So sometimes it's good to be last. Like, I'll say this specifically because I know he's probably still floating around. Sagi's still in the chat, but I watched his video primarily because I wanted to see Terry in there. So for the Crane S2, because I've been contemplating getting a new gimbal, and I've really been trying to. Is that the S?
Yes.
How is it?
They sent it to me, and I'm
Fuck you, Jake.
going to do a video on it, but then I'm like, well, all the other people.
You might as well wait a little bit. You might as well wait a little bit, let it settle down, and do an after the hype type of thing. How is it, though? Have you used it at all?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Man, it's smoother than the Weeble S.
Heck, it carries a ton of weight.
Because the Weeble S gets a little bobble to it, and that drives me nuts. I find myself stabilizing Weeble S footage a lot.
Yeah, I noticed, especially on certain movements, it seems to kind of catch, like do this sort of little tick thing sometimes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That kills me. Does the S do that?
I haven't found it to do it yet, but I haven't with an A7 III and some other stuff on it, like I'm still not even coming close to the weight limit of it.
See, I know that you will tell it to me straight, because I know there's a new Ronin on the horizon.
Yeah, there's a new
Ronin on the horizon. So, and I am holding out for a Ronin that that is lighter than the first generation, but is capable of handling a heavier payload. That's what my hope is.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's what I'm hoping.
So that's the thing, that because I had the original Ronin S.
Same.
And it's like maybe half the weight of the original Ronin S.
But it can handle more of the capacity than the Ronin S.
Yeah. Plus it has the locking arms, and the way they did the locking thing on this, it's like they're super beefy and super nice, which I'm really happy about. Because I mean, honestly, like I'm crashing with my stuff through the woods, and so my Weeble S still works great, but all the little locking mechanisms have pretty much all busted out because they've been caught by tree branches and rocks and who knows what else. So
yeah, the locks for me were the biggest thing. I don't even know. My Weeble's back there. The locks on the Weeble S were sort of like I don't know. I mean, I've dealt with it, but I use my gimbal a lot, and now that I'm shooting more on the A7 III, I noticed that the Ronin ST really isn't enough to handle the A7 III plus a larger lens. Like as soon as you get to 16 to 35, forget it. The SE is not going to do it very well. I mean, it'll do it, but it's not going to do it well. The Weeble does it well, but it's that panning. Like no matter what I set the deadband to on the Weeble S, it's like not smooth. I really do find myself using a lot of artificial warp stabilizer in post, which I hate doing because it takes a lot of time. Yeah. So I've closely watched every video on the new Crane S2, and I've been contemplating it. Because I've had good experiences with Juin. So I'm sort of curious about it. I may just buy one, man. I don't want to buy one, but I may have to.
It's well, hang on for a little bit, and we'll see what happens with this one here after I get done working with it.
Yeah, that's what I'll wait. I'll wait to see what you have to say as far as that goes, because like I said, I'm looking for anything that's going to make my life easier when it comes to editing these real estate videos. If I have to use warp stabilizer a little bit less, I will sacrifice that. The other thing too, the Weeble S has been doing lately, depending on how I tilt it, it just goes berserk. Have you ever had that happen where all of a sudden it just starts erratically shaking? Like I have to grab it. Yes, I have to grab it because I'm afraid it's going to break the flip screen, because I'll have the screen flipped over a little bit. And it's usually on those pans down or up. It just erratically goes bonkers. and it
No, I've
freaked me
never had
out.
that happen. That's weird.
Okay, maybe it's just mine. I just updated it too recently. It's happened to me once, but
Was it doing that before the update or just
yes,
since the update?
yeah, it
Okay.
was.
All right. I was gonna say, like, so my test for this thing is Saturday. I'm filming a group of guys climbing a 5,000-foot mountain in 13 miles.
That's normal.
And so, yeah, right. So I'm gonna take this. This is gonna be the gimbal for that, and be running up and down the mountain trying to
Your
film it,
life
do
is a
that.
little bit more interesting than producer Paul's. I'm just throwing that out there.
When he said he was in the mountains, I was like, well, let's define mountains here, because
He's in Georgia right now, sipping on wine. He's probably, you know what Ken says, adjust the motor power to stop the spazzing. I may set it to low again. I had it to low, but I felt like the bobble was too much. Like, I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with the Weebill. I like the convenience of being able to tilt forward and get those low pan in shots. But then I hate the fact that sometimes if the camera tips back a little bit, it just goes bonkers. I don't know. I'm going to set the motors to low.
I really like the Weebill S. I think it's great. I like the Ronin SC when I had it, but then, like you're saying, with the A7 III and any larger lenses, it just couldn't quite handle it. Where the Weebill S definitely could. But there are a few things. Although sometimes, like when I've noticed panning side to side and you get kind of those little shaky.
Yeah, it's like a little jerk.
I think that's a competition between the in-body image stabilization in the A7 III and the Weebill. Like, I've noticed that Sony cameras sometimes have trouble with panning motion with the IBIS in there. And I feel like that's happened a lot where I'm panning with the Weebill and the IBIS is like trying to fight the motion or something.
I would agree with you, because what I've noticed is when I switch lenses to my 12 millimeter, which does not have it doesn't have the stabilization. And if I turn stabilization off on the camera, I don't get those wonky sort of, I don't know, that artifact in when I do use warp stabilizer.
Yeah.
What I want to use is
kind of weird, warpy outsides.
Exactly. So I've looked into Real Steady for After Effects, but it only works on the 2017, which is sort of disappointing that they haven't updated that yet.
That's weird.
Or like an auxiliary plugin.
You should look into Steady XP.
Steady XP.
Yeah, so it's you buy a gyro unit, you mount it on your camera, and then it basically works like Real Steady Go. After that, it records the gyro data into the camera on an audio track.
Okay.
And then you run it through their software. It pulls the gyro data off the audio track and stabilizes the footage exactly the way Real Steady Go does. Yeah.
What does that cost?
It's not. It's like just 200 euros, I think.
Okay, but that's still cheaper than the Real Steady Go, which is $400, or the Real Steady After Effects is $400, which is, I think, a lot.
Yeah, so for like $300, you're getting the program plus the gyro unit that you can put on any camera. And so, like, for me, I started looking into it because of this drone. To put any camera on here, I want to make sure I can stabilize it. You can't stabilize any camera with Real Steady. You've got to have a GoPro.
Have you thought about a Sony RX02?
Yes, I have several times.
I'm thinking about picking one up and just trying it.
My only hesitation is two things. One, it has rolling shutter that I'm a little worried about on an FPV drone. And then two, it's been a little over a year since it was released, and I'm like, I'll buy one, and tomorrow they'll release the RX03, and it'll be way better.
What are you going to put on the thick that's not going to have rolling shutter, though?
Well, and that's true. I mean, like, I was looking at Blackmagic 4K.
Right, and I was looking at the same thing. I was trying to chew somebody down for a Blackmagic, and now Half Chrome is in here, and I know he has one because as I was looking to see who's used a RX02 for FPV, their video came up, and it was actually really good. It was actually really good. They used the Moondog lens, so an anamorphic lens, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is feasible." So I think as long as you're moving forward, you're fine with roll and shutter. I think once you start moving side to side in those fast, abrupt movements, that's when roll and shutter is going to be a factor.
Yeah.
I think for what we're looking for, I think it'd be fine. Cause I just can't bring myself to do the 1-inch sensor on was it what the frick is that? The Insta-1R. I can't do it because the artifacting is too bad.
Yeah, so I have the 1R with the 1-inch thing. They sent it to me. It's a good camera if you're walking around and if you're not like jumping up and down. But as soon as you start getting a lot of motion, the artifacting, it really.
Oh man, I watched Nurk's video, because when I was looking at the Insta-1R, and granted, the scenery that he was choosing wasn't the best.
Yeah,
but I think for the example that he was going for, I noticed immediately, even with YouTube's compression, the artifacting was so severe on the Insta-1R 1-inch versus the GoPro Hero 8. I was just like, I can't see myself buying that. The Hero looks noticeably better and much more sharper, and there's more detail. I mean, I guess at this point, it's almost like, well, we'll just have to wait for the Hero 9 because we know something's going to come, and it's got to be better, right? It can't be worse than the Hero 8. I say it can't be, but this is GoPro we're talking about.
I know. Man, GoPro. I don't understand who's in. Well, I do understand, but I don't want.
Somebody just said in the chat. Rich Flyer 32 says they'll take roll and shutter over artifacting. I agree with them. I'll take roll and shutter over artifacting.
Yeah,
you can't fix artifacting. You can't fix that. It just looks digital. It looks like shit when that happens. And from everything I've seen with the RX02, as long as you're not beating it, that is a damn good camera to use for FPV. At least I think. I'm building a 7-inch right now. Before I put together my thick, I'm building a 7-inch, which that was the goal, was it's going to lift a RX02.
I mean, you could put an RX02 on a 5-inch.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's tiny. But yeah, Half Chrome, you need to post more footage of your RX02.
No shit, man. Why don't they post more footage?
Lab, man. I was like, that was the whole reason I found his channel. I was looking up anamorphic on FPV, and it's like the only video out there.
Somebody who built a thick, who successfully built a thick. He's in this chat right now. Ethan Mitchell built the thick. He's got it working. It's got it operational. So he built it. This is what he told me to do. He put 2 individual ESCs, tied them together, and he's using the Lumineer Ultimate stack or flight controller, which he said can support 8 ESCs, the Lumineer Ultimate. And that's what he's using on his stick. So Ethan Mitchell, I gotta brag about Ethan a little bit here, because every time I've needed a 3D print or something or anything, just anything in general, Ethan has come through. Like, I will say 90% of my 3D prints come from Ethan. Like when I have a custom drone or something I've built and I need like a 3D print for a camera, I'll send it to Ethan and he immediately modifies. And like, I'm serious, like literally in 30 minutes. I don't know what Ethan does all day. Maybe he just designs 3D prints for a living. But
I was gonna say, it sounds like he 3D prints stuff for you.
I know, right? He's on the payroll too. I'll send something to Ethan, and then wham bam, he's got it done up for me, and I'm just like, holy crap, that was fast, dude. And it's like, it's usually pretty damn perfect.
Yeah,
so I have to brag about him, because he's somebody that I've bounced off a lot with FPV, and like him and I, we were talking back and forth about this RX02 and whether or not we should buy it. And we were thinking, well, just buy it from Amazon. Because if we buy it from Amazon, they're like the Walmart of technology. They're going to take anything back, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
All right. So let's bring in our guest tonight. We've got the one, the only. I guess I'm going to switch over to this view here. This is probably more appropriate. Jake, you obviously know this gentleman, no stranger. He's a broken individual. He's just, I would say he's borderline degenerate.
That's pretty accurate.
I mean, he only drinks when he's forced to, and that's usually when he's around me. He likes to crash people's drones into water, provide them a lesser replacement. He was going to be my bunkmate at Spin Up, but then he decided to kick me to the curb. Sean Oz.
What is up, gentlemen?
Sean Oz. But dude, he's got one of the best looking mics for YouTube live streaming.
He does. He makes me want to go ahead and play Plinko or something at The Price is Right. I don't know. He's like the Dick Clark of drone YouTube, I guess, right now.
Dude, he's got a real arcade game behind him too. Dang it, Sean! Come on.
I had to make a new setup. My old setup is at the studio, my tattoo studio, as you guys know.
Where are you at right now, Sean?
I'm at my house.
Oh man, this is new, dude. This is new.
This is all new. Is the audio too loud or is it staticky?
No, you sound pretty good, at least in my ears. I mean, hey, I'm just glad you have audio at all. I mean, since we've switched over to what have we switched over to for Drone Brews?
You used to be using something else.
Yeah, what were you using before? Because man, every week was like
it was Russian roulette with audio. So I was using XSplit, and the benefit of using XSplit was I was able to have all these cool transitions and things like that, and it felt more like a show. But it was very stressful because I wanted to bring guests on. Like I tried doing Drone Brews by myself for so long, but it's a pain in the ass, right?
It is. And then it's hard to do it all by yourself.
It is. But then I found Paul, and Paul found me, and we have found each other. We are one. We are Paulkin. I don't know. That's fucked up.
Sean, you've fallen down the FPV trail, haven't you?
No, he's not. He is not.
You haven't fallen down that yet at all?
He's not. He has not.
Years ago. Okay, 6 years ago, I started messing around with
Sean, be honest. You have not.
I hated it.
Fixed wing don't count, Sean.
You hated it?
I hated fat sharks. I hated the static and the fat sharks. And so I completely just was like, And now DJI has some, and I missed the sale that they were having. What was it? Just a few months ago. Just a month ago.
Yeah, like around Father's Day or whatever.
Yeah, and I completely missed it, and I don't think I need these. And decided, well, since I missed it, I didn't buy them.
You know, that's a shitty excuse, Sean.
Okay, here's what I want to do. To be straight up, I don't want to just do FPV like what I want to do. My wing. I want to get a wing that can go long range and fly my combat wing and run into other people flying combat wing.
I watched a dogfight this weekend. It was a shit show. It's not what you expect it to be.
Oh, there's so much fun the way we used to do it. We used to do it on the beach in Long Beach, and there's like this off the coast, this little slope that comes up and it causes an updraft, and you can throw out a glider and literally fly for 3 hours on one battery.
Sean, you're missing out, man. I'm telling you. Here's what I found. Like I said to myself, somebody gave me a Cinewhoop. That's what this is why I live in a homeless shelter right now, is because of FPV. Somebody gave me a Cinewhoop, and they're like, "Oh, you're probably you're not gonna like it." And I got it, and I was so damn determined to fly this thing. I destroyed it, and I set my backyard half on fire. And I said, "You know, I'm gonna build another one, and then another one, and then another one." And pretty soon you become like an addict. I'm looking for FPV Anonymous right now because I feel like I just have to build another one, and then you build another one, and then you fly it, and you're like, yes, it flies good, and it's like every time is a new high, and it's this sounds like I'm addicted right now.
I don't have the time to do the building.
Bullshit, Sean. You have time. You have time. You can make time.
How do I have time?
What you do is you cut out of work early, Sean. You make excuses. You lie to your spouse. You tell them you don't have time for them, Sean. FPV is crack.
But I'm already at that point. I am already at that point. No,
you're not at that point, Sean. When you were on your last nickel, rubbing 2 pennies together to buy an ESC, then you were at that point. Right now, I have prioritized my flight controller over my rent, Sean. I have reached a new low.
I'm working on the reason I'm here instead of at my tattoo studio in the back like I used to be, with the brick wall and the hexagons, is because I'm gutting that room and turning that into a storage room and redoing a different room to hire a piercer and other artists, which eventually will make me more money and give me more time. Then I can do it.
Goodbye, Sean. Your lies consumed you. Sean can't participate in the stream. He's filled with lies and deceit. Are you going to stop lying, Sean? I can't fire Paul this week. What do you got there? Oh, you're gonna bring out a stack? I'll bring out a stack there, Jake. If you want to bring out a stack, we'll bring.
I'm just saying, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem at all.
That was that a Nazgul?
No, this is a what is this? This is an iFlight DC-5 that I took all my spare parts and put it on, and my son flies this one around and wrecks it.
I love the DC-5. I got one too. It's a digital version. I love that. I love the fact that I love them all.
It's a great frame. My son flew that frame going 60 miles an hour straight into the wall of a building, and nothing got damaged.
Who just super chatted here? Leonard Oglesby, check your email. If you want some brews from California, let me know your shipping address. I believe that is legal. So
I'll be right back. Hold that thought.
All right, I'm gonna let you do that. Leonard, I will definitely do that. I've been really bad with checking emails lately because I've just been like, I've been in la la land with edits. I have not looked at my emails. So Leonard, I will definitely do just that, and I will let you know a shipping address. Somebody tried shipping me some brews, and they said it got sent back to them by, what was it, ETF? I don't know. Somebody said they opened the package. I think it's because it leaked. The bottles leaked. So if you're going to send something, send it via can. Again, I don't know the legalities of that. So do it as you will. I'm not saying to ship it, but I'm not telling you to do that. But there is a P.o Box. I'm not telling you to do that, but hey, if you do that, I'm okay with that. I'll get with you, Leonard. We'll figure. What are you drinking there, Sean? Damn, that looks good.
That's the benefit of now having a studio at home. I can walk into the other room and there's a big refrigerator with all kinds of stuff in it.
Oh man, Sean, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Sean, you were missed this weekend, man. You were missed this weekend. I had a good time.
If it wasn't such a long drive from where I'm at, I would have loved.
How long of a drive was it, Sean? How far is it from you from where we were at? We were in
over 15, 16, 18 hours or something.
Dude, there was a guy this weekend, 65 plus years old, Sully, man. He drove 14 plus hours to fly.
But it's not the drive that's so bad. My studio has been so damn busy. I don't have time for anything. Like it's been, I mean, I'm not complaining. It's amazing. It's amazing. But I'm trying to figure out a way to make time again and still keep the amazing income coming in at the same time. That's all of our goals, right? Have more time, more income.
One momento. So B-Man, yes, you did send a package. Zach did get the package. He did say that he got the package. I just didn't get it from him, but he did say something did hit the P.o Box. So I will say a early thank you before I even see what it is. I will just say that Zach sucks at giving me my mail because I am just a scatterbrain with things and I'm always all over the place. But he did say to me that something did arrive. He did say that. So I really do appreciate anything that you've sent. I mean, 100%, dude. Like you guys don't know, like I appreciate the living shit out of all of you guys, and getting to meet a lot of you all at these events just makes it all that more real. So 100%, thank you very much. Don't ever think that I don't ever appreciate anything anybody ever sends. I appreciate every single one of you guys 110%, except for drone worship. Fuck you, Dan. What do you guys think?
How do you really feel?
Yeah, you know
you're
how
usually
I feel.
so calm and collected in how you
Usually, yes. Usually, absolutely. So, Sean, you were saying you were going to spin up and you were gonna fly FPV.
Spin up. If you guys have some with you, I'll definitely try again. I'm going
to bring 2 drones. I'm bringing 2 quads. I'm bringing the Mavic Air 2, and I'm bringing 2 quads because you never know.
Yeah. Well, when Kelly and Ed came out here, they had a couple of tiny whoops, and I was able to fly it around inside the condo, no problem. It wasn't like, but that's like smaller environments. You know, that when I started flying drones, they didn't have stabilization stuff in them. Like, I started with a Blade Nano. That thing was like, you just touch the throttle a little bit, it was straight up on your ceiling. You don't touch it enough, and it's down back to the ground. So you had to learn that way. It's just been a long time.
Well, you should probably Jaron says you really need to fight that asshole Dan. Well, he wants to fight, so I'm training. by training. I'm drinking every single day and eating a beer mix of nuts. So there's that.
Yeah, you need to get more for charity if you're going to do that, because you're basically just helping him grow his channel.
Right. So what charity do you think I should donate to?
I honestly, I got a great one. Shriners Hospital.
Shriners Hospital? I'm about that. I'm about that.
It's awesome, man. When my son
Jake, what charity do you think we should donate this to from the fight proceeds?
I like the Shriners Hospital.
Shriners Hospital. I think Shriners Hospital probably does the most good out of any non-for-profit charity out there.
And they helped me specifically, personally. They helped me and my son when he was, I think he was like 9. He fell over on his bike and broke his arm in half. Like, I mean, folded it. It was, blah. And I had let his, horrible father moment. I had let his insurance lapse by a couple of months because he never did anything physical. And he screwed over just standing still on his bike. And of course that happens. So I was in between insurances and nobody would help me. They wanted so much money to fix it. And then Shriners stepped up and said, hey, here's what we want to do, the surgery the right way. And they did everything the right way. And these other places were wanting to like do these plates that would last forever. But he was so young. It sucks to put plates in your kid's arm when they're that young. Anyways,
well,
they stepped up.
Then Shriners has to be it. Shriners has to be it.
And they helped so many kids. Like, it was crazy. One of the times I was there in the waiting room, I'm talking to a lady. She looked very well off compared to me at the time. At the time, I was struggling.
Sean, right? You look well off, though. Sometimes I look at him like, man, he looks like he's killing it.
Okay, look at me 10 years ago, okay? Completely different guy. I am turning into the American dream little by little here. Like if you struggle and you bust your ass, eventually it pays off.
Sean, you're just such a role model. You really are. Man. You're so good, dude. And the fact that you're actually drinking a decent beer this evening is just so I've got producer Paul, this son of a bitch. He has yet to drink a beer on the stream. I don't know if he's trolling me or what he's doing, but he is yet to drink at anything like he's yet to drink a beer. He's drank wine. He's drank a wine cooler. He's danced around it. He's like killing
James.
What's that?
Like you remember Bartles and James? Weren't those the wine coolers?
Something like that. Yes, he's doing this. He's driving me nuts. He texted me a photo the other day of this beer. It's called Dunkaroos. It's called Dunkaroos. He goes, "Hey, I think I have a potential sponsor for us. It's called Dunkaroos." And I'm like, "Paul, are you going to drink that?" He goes, "No. I'm just looking out for us." So I think I'm being trolled from within now.
That's hilarious.
I don't know. He sent me a photo today of a bottle of what was it? Chardonnay. I said, "Paul, that's not even a beer. What are you doing?" I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I can't fire him because he's really good administratively. He's organized the entire show. Like Drone Brews is much more organized. The channel is much more organized when he's around. I feel like I have a schedule of things since he's joined the stream. But the beer thing, we're gonna have to figure this out. He's working on me. I don't know what he's doing. He says he wants an emoji, so maybe if I get an emoji, he'll drink. I don't know. So that's next. So Speedball says he tagged me in a tweet about Dunkaroos. I figured it was right up your alley. That is right up my alley, man. I appreciate that, dude. That is definitely right up my alley. Dobo, you guys really hate each other, or is it all-star wrestling? I'm assuming he's talking about DW. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'll say this right here because I don't like to really mention the name. It's like Voldemort on this channel. Here's the deal. I don't ever hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. I never even hold a grudge at all. I don't hold grudges. But this dude is a schmuck bag. Is a schmuck bag and a half. He's just a schmuck bag. So for him, I make an exception. Half Crone asked me, what's the deal with the Brother Hobby Motors? You all will find out very soon. We are building a custom Cinewoop that will be available very soon. It's going to be the very first truly, I mean this 100% turnkey ready to fly kit. I mean, from goggles to controller to tune, ready to fly out of the box cinematic FPV Cinewoop kit with a crash warranty soon. Custom motors, the whole shebang. It's going to be bitching. So, and
So you're trying to beat DJI before they release their FPV drone, huh?
Basically. But like, what is DJI going to release? If DJI releases a drone, Jake, as well as I do, what is that going to look like? Are they going to have geofencing in the FPV drone? Or are they going to use Betaflight?
That's what I keep wondering, if it's going to be a geofenced FPV drone from DJI.
Could you imagine? I can't imagine them doing that. Could you?
Oh, no. I could.
It wouldn't sit well with the FPV community.
No, it wouldn't. If they know it's good for them and they want to sell them, they won't. But the other thing I wonder is, like, is it going to be super modular, where like you just buy modules to fix it every time you crash? Or
well, that's the thing, is like, you have to make something that is adequate enough to what we already have today. And the thing is, you have to separate your consumer base, because damn, this I'm eating this shit. Have you ever had this at a bar?
Cars? No. I have
no,
not.
man, it's delicious. It's bottom line is, Sean, it's delicious. If you've ever sat at a bar for any length of period, pre-corona, it's delicious. So think about what a DJI FPV system will look like, because I sort of got into an argument with Rick and Kelly over this at a Build a Drone Reviewer stream. It wasn't even an argument. No, it was an argument. It was a polite argument. But anyways, it was, if they made FPV totally accessible, I felt that it would be dangerous, is what I felt, right? Because I think in something that I said during the stream was, I didn't understand this hobby. I just spit on my keyboard, son of a bitch. I didn't understand this hobby until I started really like flying and really getting into it. I didn't understand it. I didn't respect it. And I think that's the thing, is respect is important, because these things are stupid fast, and they're and they're ridiculously dangerous. Like a little tiny Cinewoop, a 65 millimeter Cinewoop. I caught my daughter in the ear the one day, and I drew blood by accident.
Is that not a proud? You got it all tangled in her hair?
No, that was a different time. But
I mean, FPV drone in the wrong hands is like a blender flying through the air at 50 miles an hour.
Yes. And that's the thing, is that, okay, now you say, okay, FPV for everybody. And that the thing about FPV is, it's not an every man's game. It's not, because in order to have great responsibility, let me rephrase that. In order to have great power, it takes great responsibility. Like I said, I've had a few to drink, so bear with me. But you have to understand what you're getting into. And the problem is that most GPS drone flyers just want to turn key, and they don't want to do any research on what it takes to actually utilize that. And that's a dangerous thing. I think that's a dangerous thing. So,
oh yeah, totally is.
It will be interesting to see what path they do take.
I do think you're going to find a lot of people that get a ready to run FPV setup, especially a larger one. And it's going to be similar to the ready to run straight up airplanes, nitro planes they used to have, and things like that. Pretty much you get out
but
there,
I think that would be an absolute shit show. I think the right way to go about this thing is, if you're interested in this hobby at all, and like I said, I've not been in it very long, maybe 3 months, is to take the approach that many I've seen do. Get into a simulator, crash for free, and see like, oh shit, this is a real thing. Get yourself a little tiny whoop, something that you're not going to cause any sort of damage to anybody on. Fly that, break that, and then say, okay, let me step into like a 5-inch or a 3-inch, and then really sort of see like, oh shit. I'm gonna tell you, all it's gonna take is one time you accidentally catch a prop with one of these drones, which I have, like I'm just gonna say right here, like, this is why you take props off when you're tuning. This is why you take props off while you're tuning, because shit like that happens. They'll spin up if you make the wrong move. It's just, you gotta have respect. Like I'm not like gonna lie. flying FPV has changed my mindset for drones. Like I respect the entire hobby so much differently than I did before. I really do. You respect it so much differently because like now it becomes a dangerous. Like Mavic, if I caught a prop with the Mavic, maybe it'll nick my finger, no big deal. But you catch a prop with one of these son of a bitches, you may lose a finger.
Oh yeah.
Or something worse, or or shit, even worse, or even worse, you set a field on fire because you crashed your drone down in a field. Like that's my fear. Like that's a real fear, is setting a field on fire or something.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you see like California is all ablaze up in the north. I mean, last summer up here we had crap tons of wildfires everywhere because it was just so hot and dry. But
Jake, have you crashed in powder yet?
In snow?
Yeah, and just lost deep in the powder.
I have buried my FPV drone in powder. Like I had to
coat your drones, Jake?
What's that?
Are your drones coated with like a 4 mil coating or something?
Oh yeah. Otherwise, I'd never get to fly because it's always like rainy, sprinkly, whatever. And so I can formal coat the crap out of them, and then they fly all long.
I was always wondering about that because I was flying this weekend. I had a drone that I did a formal coating to, and the grass was a little bit wet, and everybody's like, "Oh, we can't take off on that." I'm like, "Fuck it, I'm taking off." I coated that.
Like when I originally, because this is four separate ESCs. Let's see if I can get it to focus.
Yeah, there you go.
You could see the solder there.
I
didn't conformal coat that.
Okay.
And I crashed the first time I crashed in the snow, and everything quit working because it was shorting out between the solder points on the ESCs. So after that, I was like, crap, I got to conformal coat everything, or else I just won't be flying all winter long.
See, I think like 4-in-1 ESCs are so good nowadays. It doesn't make any sense to go individual. I don't think. I could be wrong. I mean, but 4-in-1s are pretty fucking good right now.
They are. So like this one, I was flying, and one channel of the 4-in-1 ESC popped.
Okay.
And so I think that's where having four separate ones makes sense. Is I could have
what ESC, on. What ESC are you running on that though?
This one's the BREW Kakute F3 45 amp.
So I've been running. So my thing is I've been running Mamba ESCs, the 60 amp Mamba ESCs.
Yeah.
Had good luck. My buddy My buddy just started running the Hobby Wing ESCs, and he said the Hobby Wing ESC is absolutely amazing. I think it's sort of luck of the draw how much you really ramp up on it. I think with 6S, you're going to run. You're probably going to have an instance of something popping greater than if you're running Fress.
So like these are the ESCs
T-motor
now.
That's a T-motor. Yeah, that's a great ESC though.
Right, and those are the ones I'm putting on the thick. I mean, I'm like I'm a big believer in like kind of going overboard a little bit, just so you don't have to deal with repairing stuff a ton.
Sure.
And like this drone, I've had to repair this a ton because everything on it was basically the bare minimums of what it could be.
And I basically had to rebuild. So my Hornet, when I first got my Hornet, I had to rebuild my entire Hornet because it was having a blackout. Ken just sent me something about underwater ESC waterproofing test.
Yeah, there's a guy who's been building some waterproof drones. He starts out with something like a squirter, like this.
Fly High FPV.
It's at the bottom of a swimming pool, and it goes up to the top of the water and then takes off and starts flying. I was like, what the crap?
Yeah, I saw that, and that to me seems super, super interesting, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily understand the whole aspect of it, but I mean, it definitely looks interesting. I've had great luck. I've only had one ESC that I've really had issues with. It was a Rush ESC. It was a 20 by 20 ESC on a micro that was giving me issues. No, I take that back. I popped an ESC this week on a that was my fault though. It was on a micro. It was a 16 by 16 ESC. I popped it because I think I wired something incorrectly.
You know, what's interesting about ESCs is Hobby Wing actually makes ESCs for electric skateboards also.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They make ESCs for a lot, but their ESCs are really, really well designed. But the problem is they don't have a plug-and-play flight controller, so you have to pair it to something else. Sometimes the flight controller can be the biggest pain in the ass. So like a lot of people will pair the Hobby Wing ESC to what they call a Radix flight controller. And the Radix is pretty damn good. Or like you can compare it to a Mamba. You can pair it to whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. But what are you doing, Sean? Why are you zooming in like that?
I'm fixing so you don't see so much of my mic stand. I'm in a limited space now, so like I'm trying to get this back far enough away from me.
I gotta share this video Ken just sent because this video
room is like 10.
I'm gonna paste this in the chat here because I don't know if it showed up or not. But Ken just shared that video right there. But it's like sort of a test of a waterproof of an ESC, which
show.
I just did. Sean,
no, not
are
in
you
the
high?
chat on the show. You can actually share it. Share your screen. Click it. Share the screen.
Yeah, no, but you know how people are with that. You don't know how they are with that, Sean, with copyrights and things. My show is a target of sorts.
Yeah, but you're not monetized till after the show.
This is true. This is true.
Do you monetize your live streams?
I never knew that you could monetize them. I just thought that
I showed you that.
You can. I just don't. I don't think it's worth it.
No, it's not because I never know what I'm. So on my streams here, the replays are not very good. So I never go back and actually enable monetization. If somebody super chats, all right, great, whatever. But I don't go.
It's cool. You can show it.
I don't go back and like monetize a stream. I don't feel like I don't deem it's worth it.
Most live shows get like a few views after it's not live anymore. There's only a few I've ever had that still actually carried.
I will say this, that of all the shows that happen, where the fuck? Why is this not happening? Sean, why is this happening?
We always got to blame it on me.
All right, here it is.
And by the way, Jake, I am working on coming up there in October.
Awesome, bro.
So this is that what Ken was talking about. I'll try to fast forward to the good shit. It was waterproof of an ESC.
Well, because there's conformal coating, but conformal coating also stops electrical conductivity.
I don't think this is conformal coating. This is something
another
different.
coating that doesn't stop the conductivity of electricity, but it does.
Look what he's doing.
Stop the water penetration.
Okay, that's like he's submerging the motor. There's the ESC going in as well. No problems. All right, so that's pretty freaking cool. Dope. Yeah. I mean, he's still going. I mean, I just went 6 minutes in, and that's pretty awesome. Damn cool. That to me is worth it in itself. I would be game for that.
I would too. I've got a drone that's sitting up at the bottom of a glacier lake that I'm going to try and go recover here in another week or two.
Ken confirmed it was cool to show it. You never know. Like, I never know who's going to like be a dick and try to strike you down or something.
He's working with him to create it.
Well, that just sort of bolsters that thing. Like, if they get that up and running, I would be all about that, because today, like, it was lightly raining. I wanted to fly, but I was sort of like, do I really want to pop something? I was testing out the Nazgul 5 HD. That was what I was doing today. I've had it for a few days now, and that drone is pretty damn. I think that drone just literally killed any other 5-inch budget drone.
So does any of you guys or anyone in the chat have like any of the Traxxas vehicles? Because everything Traxxas puts out nowadays as a car is waterproof. Like, I can play with them in the snow, deep snow, run them through water, all kinds of stuff. So are they just putting like them in a shrink wrap protective, or are they doing something else?
They're probably coating it with something.
Probably coating it, yeah.
It's like, why couldn't the drone companies just do that? Because if I can take a car and drop it in a lake and hit go, and it still floats or even sinks and gets out.
I think it's like anything. It's not 100%. You know what I mean?
So
they're claiming it 100%.
Like, I had a buddy that his Mavic 2 Zoom went down a waterfall, actually went down several waterfalls in one of the ice caves. I pulled it out. He dried it out. 2 days later, it flew fine. The gimbal didn't work, but I assume that's because it went down several waterfalls and probably got hit. But and then I was reading on one of the things, one of the Facebook groups for the DJI FPV system. Somebody asked how long they've had their stuff submerged in water, and it still worked. And one guy was like, "My drone was underwater for 3 weeks. I got it back, and then the FPV system came right back on once it dried out."
Really?
So they must be coating it with something.
They got to.
Yeah,
I think they do that to all drones.
Pretty heavy rain, and it's been fine.
The Evo 1, I submerged one time. I went to take off when they first announced boat mode. I took off with the Evo 1, and I kid you not, as soon as I took off, it proceeded to hit the river, and I was like, "Oh crap!" And I got it home, and the gimbal was freaking out. So I was like, "Crap! It's done for. It's done. I'm gonna have to call Tell." I let it sit out and just air out. The next day, I powered it on. It was like nothing ever happened. Like nothing ever happened. It was amazing.
Well,
so
if it's fresh water, you got better odds of actually it drying out and being usable compared to salt water.
I'm really sick of Sean's logical thinking.
I was gonna say he's right, but then you're gonna kick me off the stream too, so I won't say that yet.
Oh man,
no, it's true. That's the thing. Like in fresh water stuff can go for a lot longer than salt.
It is true.
Sitting under in a lake, it's going to take a lot longer to rust underwater, as if you got it out underwater, took it out, and set it there to dry, and just it got rained on and then not rained on, rained on and not.
Yeah, where it's drying and getting wet and drying, getting wet.
Quit being so logical, Sean.
No, man. I crashed my other marmot, my first one. I was flying around the face of a glacier, and it disarmed and went in the water. And that's why I switched to Crossfire for my control stuff.
Dude, Crossfire. How good is Crossfire, though?
Bro, Crossfire is amazing. And then for me, like traveling around with the Tango 2.
That is good. That is a good receiver.
So freaking good. And then the rumor is they're going to release like a 500 or 1 watt firmware update for the Tango 2.
Did you see that? Like I have Crossfire. I had the Crossfire 2 transmitter. What is that one?
This is the Jumper T12 with the Crossfire full-size module in it.
Oh, wow. That T12 looks so tiny.
It is tiny, and that was why I got it.
See, I'm using a Taranis X9D because for me, the ergonomics of the Taranis X9D is like perfect. I have the Jumper T18 Pro, and I just felt like the ergonomics just like I don't know, it just didn't feel like 100%. There's some goofy things that happened with the Taranis and the Crossfire, the Crossfire and the Jumper, but the Taranis has been flawless.
Yeah,
absolutely flawless. There's Paul Feinberg. Paul, you're supposed to be drinking wine somewhere in the mountains, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he tweeted me a photo of him in some sort of little cabin somewhere.
Yeah, I know. He's such a bougie little bastard.
He's just rubbing our faces in it now.
Burning all his vacation pay.
I want to
burn
share
all your vacation pay, Paul.
with you. A little tip.
What'd you say, Paul? What'd you say, Sean?
The RC racing 1A scale days. Did you guys ever do that stuff? The A scale buggies? Did you ever race them?
No,
I never
Sean.
did cars. They're so much fun. However, a tip
all in favor of firing Sean about talking about things that don't fly.
It doesn't matter because you can take this tip into your flight stuff, especially you guys doing FPV, right? Pretty easy. You probably already know it because you're both geniuses. You probably already know this. But whenever you're cleaning stuff with the cars, they get filthy. So you're dumping alcohol on them, but you're not dumping regular alcohol. You're using denatured alcohol.
Yeah.
Because denatured alcohol won't screw up your electronics. A lot of people just think you can dump regular old rubbing alcohol from Walgreens on there. Not the case. Don't use that if you're watching the show. Denatured alcohol is the way you want to clean stuff.
Hey, Ken, did you see these little they're patch antennas?
I have seen them. I haven't used them. I'm using the True RC antennas on the DJI FPV. So what I found out was, like, reading forums, that the way DJI limits their FPV output for the digital is it's not actually limited in the module. It's limited by the antennas. So if you just change your antennas out, you get like a full output, which is incredible.
Yeah. Yep. I switched my antennas out as soon as I got I got the 4 little True RC stubbies. And
what do you think about the new Shark Bite? Have you seen that?
I think it's cool. I think that they are like one generation away from really making it.
I think it's a good upgrade over analog. I think it's like that interim between. I can't afford digital, or let me rephrase that. I don't want digital, but I want something different. I think that's where they're at.
Yeah, I think once they get to the point where they can put it in a module bay in the Fat Shark module goggles, then it'll go like wildfire at that point. I think that's the biggest hiccup right now, and the biggest holdback is that you've got to have the ground station and plug your goggles in.
Right, and for me, like I'm so invested into DJI FPV at this point. Like, I look at this wall of units I have. I have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4. Oh no, I'm saying 5 analog quads right now, and one of them I'm converting to digital this week. I'm gonna put this Caddx Vista in the Source One. I'm so invested into DJI FPV, and every time I fly DJI digital, I'm just like, I have a smile on my face because it's so damn good. And I hate to be that fanboy, but that's the one product that they make that is just so damn good.
So when are the Fat Sharks going to come out with digital, or some other company?
They already have, but the problem is with the Fat Shark digital so far, it's what he was talking about, Shark Bite, is you have to have this ground station to be able to put it into the goggles. And that's the biggest hang up. It's like, as soon as they put it into a module that you can just plug into the Fat Shark goggles, then they'll be good to go.
Why not just come out with a new goggle that's all incorporated within it?
Yeah,
but that's the thing. That's the thing. Here's what I've found with like the FPV community specifically, is that many don't want to have to buy new things. Like they're sort of stubborn.
Well, they can get set. Both.
What, Sean?
They can make both. They make one set that you just plug in.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. It's easier. I think it's easier said than done. Like it's like with the DJI system, I can run analog or I can run digital, but I have to have a transmitter built in. I think with the Fat Shark Bite, they're going to have to make something that can plug into the rapid fire module. That can receive that signal to make it sort of seamless and say, okay, hey, we're going to sell this as an upgrade. But then not only do you have to upgrade the unit on your goggles, but now you have to upgrade your VTX to the digital transmission signal, which is a whole nother pain in the ass. So it's like DJI FPV all over. That's why I think a lot of people will just stick with DJI in that regard, because it's already so good. They're only going to get better. So Fat Shark, I love Fat Shark because they have great customer support, but they're so far behind in this regard that DJI, I think they're realizing in their mind, oh shit, here's an untapped territory. Here's an area where we can succeed without regulation. There's no government regulation. There's nothing. We provide a product, and it's the pilot responsibility to do whatever it is that they do with it.
Yeah.
So is Fat Sharks based out of America or somewhere else?
I believe they're based out of America, because when I send things in for support, it goes to California.
Okay, so then we need another Chinese company to knock off a Chinese company, because then they'd be able to pull it off.
Well, that's basically all they do, but nobody's been able to replicate.
The DJI
So, all right. So Nathan just said, don't forget racers still like analog due to latency. And yeah, that's true, but it's becoming lesser of a thing. The latency concerns with DJI digital are becoming lower and lower with every single update. They get better and better at improving it. Now, where analog really shines is when you have what they call a blackout. Because if you lose a digital signal, you're done. It's gone. It blacks out completely. But if you lose an analog signal, it sort of goes fuzzy and you can sort of power your way through it. But with digital, you're screwed. You don't have any bearing on which way you need to go. So I think that's where Shark Bite really does shine, is when you lose signal.
It still breaks up more like analog does.
It does break up more like analog, which it's sort of a love-hate. You got to think of it like that. It's like sort of a trade-off. It's not terrible, but it's not bad.
Have you guys
heard about that was one of the main reasons I put GPS on my FPV quad that I go out and do outside stuff with, was if I lose signal, least with Crossfire, I can just hit GPS recovery and it'll come back toward me until I can get signal again. So I
now
can see.
my XL5, I have GPS on my XL5. I don't use it because it takes forever for it to actually lock. So when I'm trying to arm it with as hot as it gets here in Florida, those precious seconds that I'm sitting there on the ground make a big difference. So I can't
Right.
rely on it's a return to home. I can't do it. Even though I know that with Crossfire I have ridiculous range, I just can't rely on it.
Yeah.
Crossfire would be pretty good on an FPV wing then if it has good range.
Oh, 100%.
It'd be the only way to go, Sean. You'd definitely have to go Crossfire to get your range out of a wing.
So what I noticed about like fixed wings is because the ESCs aren't producing like this crazy high vibration, there's not a lot of noise on a fixed wing. So prime example, Mel had this fixed wing out at Spin Up. I want to call it Spin Up. He had this fixed wing out at Ken's event, right? And he had a very cheap analog camera on that fixed wing. The image coming in that fixed wing was remarkable. It was like digital quality. I mean, it really was good. And the reason why it was so good is because that motor wasn't producing so much noise. There wasn't a high draw. It's a singular motor for one. And where the camera was to where the ESC or whatever, wherever he had that map to on the VTX was far enough away. So there wasn't a lot of noise running through that fixed wing.
He has it fixed all the way back on the tail.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it was amazing. The video quality was amazing. I don't think anybody recorded that. I screwed up.
He's posted a couple videos, not from that event, but of him using that.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm actually really shocked with that. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know the science behind it, so I can only speculate, but I'm assuming it has something to do with the motor. But I mean, I've seen things like that with Dustin Dunhill too.
Well, it makes sense. The further away you get from the electronics, the less interference you're going to get.
Yeah, and that's the thing with wings. You can space everything out on that body. You got lots of space to spread things apart. And the ESCs aren't pulling near. Sorry, the ESCs aren't pulling near the amount of amps that a 5-inch quad is pulling.
Right, and that's what I was playing. You know what kills me is today. So I do this video for iFlight for this Nazgul 5. I wanted to record the the OSD. You can't record the OSD. What am I missing something, or you can't record the OSD, like the digital output of the OSD to a file in the DJI FPV? Why won't you can play it back? I can visually view it, but I can't record it. What's up with that?
For on the DJI system?
Yeah, am I missing something?
No, you have to record it and then you can add it in later in post from one of the files on the SD card.
But how do you do that?
I don't know. I've never messed with it. I have a feeling enough people are asking for it. I have a feeling in the next update, DJI will probably add it in to where
I see that there is a file for it. I see that there's a file in the, like, so I'm looking at my video now. I see that there's a file for that, but I don't actually see where I can actually, like, I even turned it on the player and I can't do anything with it. It's sort of annoying.
Huh. Yeah, I've never messed with trying to put it in on my,
because what I wanted to do was showcase the amp draw of this particular quad. I think it records OSD like subtitle on a video file. How do I bring that in though?
That's what I don't know. The other thing I've noticed with the DJI FPV system, at least as far as I've been, is it's not very accurate and it's not very quick to report amp draw.
No, it's not.
Or GPS. Like the GPS reporting as far as your speed and stuff like that is always got a pretty good amount of latency to it.
I'll agree with that, because sometimes too, when I change batteries, I notice that I'll still see the old batteries output.
You guys you could answer this because you both have the DJI system, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. In the comments there, someone's asking if they could have the option to export video to a second screen for spectators. But I remember it spin down after spin up last year. Ken Heron was going around with his goggles while they were hooked up to ads, and everybody was looking through that. You think he's speaking about something else, like maybe to an iPad or a computer?
I think you're talking about no, because we know what they were. Oh shit. I just dropped an SD card. No, what they were doing at Spin Up was I guess like sort of like basically same thing you do with analog. You can jump channels and you can view, like I was doing it with Kelly, where I can view Kelly's stream. But here's the weird thing. Kelly, we couldn't get this to work any other way. Like that was the weirdest thing today. All right, so here it is. So there's an SRT file. What does that SRT file do though? How do you import that SRT file?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
I know I'm being super helpful as a producer tonight. I don't know, Ken. Gotta go figure it out.
See, it tells you the information though. The SRT file tells you the information though. But I don't know how you can actually utilize this SRT file to be like useful in this situation though.
Oh, I got a box of swag from Skydio for a spin down.
You did?
Yeah, they sent me a box of swag to hand out to everybody that's coming, or as many people as we have room for. Oh. Just stickers, t-shirts, those insulated water bottles, that kind of stuff, hats.
What the hell are you talking about, Sean?
Skydio. They sent me a bunch of stuff to hand out to people at Spin Down.
You know, they still have not sent me any of the swag that they promised.
What kind of swag were you supposed to get?
They were supposed to send me like some shit because they used my footage.
Oh, here, let me show you.
I don't like you, Sean. See? This makes no sense. I can't even click on this SRT file, Jacob.
So apparently, well, there's a website you can go to called DJI-telemetry-overlay.com, and it'll show you that stuff. And then apparently you can put it into, you can export it to After Effects.
DJI telemetry?
Yeah, DJI-telemetry-overlay.com.
I was super excited about my vehicle name.
That stuff looks awesome, Sean.
Telemetry.
Yeah, it's actually not badly made stuff too. It's not like it's a super bad like embroidery or cheap shirt.
Sean's all about that spin up life.
Spin down. I'm all about the spin down life.
So I got the SRT file. They want $69 for this overlay.
Oh no, there's a way to do it for free.
Do you have a link for that, Jake?
Well, not the way to do it for free. Not yet, anyway. But the SRT file is like a closed caption file.
Yeah.
And you can, if you, however you do closed captions, like with your software, are you using Premiere?
Yeah, I use Premiere.
Yeah, I don't know Premiere that well.
This is annoying, the fact that they're not all one piece. I gotta open another beer. Matt Guess is always starting shit in the chat. He's like, there's not much beer going down. Matt, I'm already 3 deep plus 1 deep plus 4 deep and then 6 deep. So at this point, I mean, I've got enough beer to keep me satisfied until next week.
Couple more, and we'll be having a second rematch already with somebody else in a ring for charity, right?
So, I know both of you are like, super important, big YouTubers and stuff. Do either of you have a smart controller?
What? Yeah, I'm not important.
What did you just say? You're big. You're big.
You got more subs than I do,
you asshole. You got the Crane S2. I do have a smart controller though.
Have you tried the goggle out to the smart controller yet?
I could not figure out how to get that to work.
Okay. I really want to try it. Like that's one of the reasons I do as well. Getting a smart controller is that. But
so, and Ken just clarified, and that's what I thought. He said, by the way, DJI digital audience mode will not work in 50 megabits.
Okay.
That's right.
So I was the only one on the 50 megabit update this weekend. I didn't fly with Ken with the DJI digital. I flew with Kelly and I flew with Sully, and neither one of them had updated to the latest version. So I actually had to switch switch over to 25 megabits, because the other reason too was every time I booted up, nobody could get signal, wouldn't get any video out of their unit. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh crap, let me think about it. I'm like, oh, I'm flying in 50 megabits. So I switched over to 25, which 25 is still more than enough for where we were. I only had one instance where I absolutely lost video, and I was flying and Kelly came over and plugged in right next to me, and as soon as he plugged in, I kid you not, the unit just absolutely blacked out, and I just quickly disarmed and got lucky enough to where nothing broke, no major damage. But that was really weird. But that was the only odd thing that I had happen all weekend. Surprisingly, there was something like, at one point I counted 10 people in the air. Not all FPV, but still the fact that nobody crashed anything.
That's still a lot of, because everything's on the 2.4 or 5.8.
Yes. Nobody broke anything at all.
That's
nothing.
Amazing.
I mean,
That's
it was
surprising.
just incredible.
Did anybody
really
do the one thing that Ken was showing, where you go up to the top of the tower and go through the hole in the middle and then come out the bottom? Nope. Did anybody pull that off?
Kelly pulled that off with the 3-inch. You had to have a small enough drone to do that.
Yeah.
Ken tried that with the 5-inch, and you saw what happened there. He got perched, which ridiculous. Like, I don't know if turtling off of that would have been the right thing to do. I mean, he got his quad back, but I looked at that, but I didn't do it. It was still early on in the day, so I was like, I'm not going to do that. I mean, there was a lot of hazards through that whole spot. There was a lot of cables. There was a lot of wires. And I really felt bad for anybody who was not flying digital, because it was really hard to see a lot of those cables.
I was wondering, and not only that, but all that metal bouncing the signal around. I was wondering how the analog guys were doing.
Surprisingly, it did well, but I did fly analog. I took a reporter for a test flight, and it was good, but I knew better to stay above all that mess and not really go down low, because I went down low once or twice and I was having a signal issue. But with digital, I had no issue whatsoever. So definitely a fun experience.
Scan the area first, look for cables, look for wires, and then fly.
Well, that was what I did for my first pack. My first pack, I always call that like an exploratory pack.
Yeah.
But as the day progressed, I found that it was more fun just to fly the cemetery.
I saw Kelly's video where you guys went over there to that.
Yeah.
Have you posted a video from your trip yet?
Yeah, it's up.
Okay.
What type of asshole are you?
I'm a busy asshole. That's what I am. A very busy asshole.
The man has got his business back open. He's trying to renovate. He's playing Pac-Man in the background every time you turn around.
Watch the videos that I upload, Sean. What type of jerk off are you?
I just told you I'm a busy jerk off. So busy.
That's all right.
I came home early from work tonight just to do this with you, man, because I missed your ass.
I know. And you know what's great though is in 2 weeks we're gonna be in Austin. I don't know why I have such a hard time processing information. We're gonna be in Austin September 11th, the week of September 11th. And I gotta give a big shout out to Brad Hendo. I know he's watching tonight. So I was looking for a rental car, and Brad said to me, he goes, I'm gonna give me your information. I'm gonna hook you up. I work with a specific rental company. I'm not gonna throw the rental company out there, but they were trying to charge like egregious rates, and he saved me so much money that I said, you know what, I got to pull a Sean Oz and get a sports car.
Oh, what'd you get?
I think I got a Mustang. I don't know. It may be a Camaro, but it's
how much
definitely
did it cost
a sports
you for that amount of days.
$120 for 3 days.
Ugh, tell them to hook me up and I'll trade my rental in and get another sports car. We'll do 2 sports cars down.
I don't know. He can only have so much family. You can ride with me. I'll let you drive it.
You know, that's what I like to do every time I go there. You know what I almost did last time is got on that Turo app and rented one of the brand new Corvettes.
That would have been cool.
Showed up.
I did that when I was in Vegas. We rented a Porsche when we were out there. This terrible car, and I cracked the windshield, but the guy never said anything. But I cracked the windshield.
The funny part, though, Ken, is like I'm renting from the airport to get to the event, right? And then going to my dad's is even further out. To return it to the airport and then rent one of these Corvettes, I guess could be doable. I might do it this time because my dad, when he was a much younger man, loved Corvettes. So
it'd be cool to do.
Show up at his house and one of these days.
I'm not flying out Sunday after spin up until 4 o'clock. So my thought process is if I leave your dad's house by 2 o'clock, I'll be at the airport by 3, and I'm TSA pre-checked. So I should be on the plane by 4. I think that'll work out.
You need to leave probably by 2:30 to be safe then.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, we can still screw around and have fun. I mean, you're over there. Like what insulted me the most, like you're like, oh, well, we're going out on the boat at 11 a.m. Well, screw you, Sean. Screw you. You can go out a little bit earlier. I mean, we're going on a freaking lake, Sean. You make it seem like we're going on a goddamn deserted island. You can take me out and drop me off back at the dock. I mean, you make it seem
we'll
like
just come close and push you off the side.
Whatever you got to do, dude. But don't be a dick and try to pull that shit, dude.
Oh, yeah. I was just trying to get you to stay an extra day.
I know, but like to stay an extra day, like I'm already pushing it because I'm pushing it because I got to go because you remember it's 2 travels in the month of September. It's spin up, and then you're talking about spin down where we got to go back to.
Are you gonna come?
I don't know. It's up in the air. I'm getting a lot of guilt trips from certain people.
Well, trust me, I feel you because for both of these events, I'm closing my studio down Thursday evening to be able to leave and be ready for Friday.
I'm contemplating going to Colorado because I've never been to Colorado. I've never been. I really do want to travel a lot this year. So, some certain people have reached out to me and asked me to go. So I'm going to put it like this. I'll put this offer out there like this. If somebody wants to split a room at Spin Up, split a room with OriginaldoBo. Spin down. Fuck, I'm sorry. Spin down. You want to split a room with OriginaldoBo? You let me know. You email me and say, hey, I'm going to spin down. Let's bunk up. We'll bunk. It's going to be a party, okay? We're going to party. It's going to be ridiculous. So you got to be prepared for that.
You can sleep on my damn couch if you need a place that bad, dude.
I don't need a place that bad to sleep on your couch. Besides, Gina, I don't want Gina shaving my eyebrows, okay? I know how she operates.
Only if you go to sleep with your shoes on.
Right, exactly. I know how she operates. She shaves eyebrows. I'm well equipped for that. So I'm thinking, all right, fine, fuck it. Lon and me are bunking together. I'll split the cost with you. Lon and me are bunking together.
Hey, Lon said he's coming out to spin down. I saw him.
That's what I'm saying. He's the primary reason why I switched course because he's like, oh, you're not going. I'm like, I want to meet Lon so bad.
You're gonna regret it if you don't, dude. You really are.
I know.
I'm gonna edit a video that's gonna make sure you regret it.
I know.
That looks so much funner than it really was.
Because I said to Kelly, I said, listen, if I show up and we're at 51 people, you're gonna kick me out? And he sort of like chuckled, like, no, but it could have been a yes. So I'm just gonna show up.
Well, it's the city that's limited us to 50.
Right now, but who knows what's going to happen?
Let me explain something. So that event area, that's 50 to the pavilion. You could just walk 10 feet over and not be in the pavilion.
Right.
Problem solved.
Hello, Julio. I don't know why I did a shout out right there. I'm about that life. I'll do that. Sean, you're bringing me down tonight, Sean.
I'm bringing you down. I'm forcing you to come to the damn event so you have fun so that you can thank me later. We'll high five and you'll be like, you were right.
Something I noticed that Jake Sloan does as a producer better. Jake Sloan does better as a producer than Paul is respond to comments better.
Oh, is Paul still watching? I'm going to
I don't know. I hope so. Paul, take note of Jake Sloan, how well he responds to comments, attentively responding to comments. I've noticed this throughout the entire evening that Jake Sloan has done an adequate job of responding to comments.
An adequate job. Woohoo! Well, that's it for me. I'll see you guys later.
Oh, fade out.
No,
that was great.
No. How does he do that?
He must have his lights on the clapper.
Oh.
Yeah, I got my lights on the clapper. No, I got my
no, what does he do that with?
Hold on.
He's got a slider.
Wait for my camera to boot up. So I got my little Ada Mini.
What is this magic, dude? What do you got over there, Jake? You got the whole shit and caboodle.
Switcher.
What switcher do you have, Jake?
Yeah, I've got that.
Ada Mini.
I have that same thing.
Yeah, it's awesome because you can plug in Twitch camera
Shit, I gotta get me
Big
one of those
black.
switchers. I need it.
Oh.
What do they call that thing, Jake?
It's the ATEM Mini.
810 mini. You send me a link,
I'll send
Jake.
you a link with
You send me an affiliate
on
link,
Twitter.
Jake.
But it's awesome. I had to wait. Sean had to wait too for forever to actually get one because they've been out of stock since everybody in the whole world had to be streaming.
You know, here's my thing with streaming when it comes to drone shows. For me, there's no great there's like a handful of shows that happen every single week that I have to watch in the drone content. On Wednesdays, there's 2 shows. There's your show, my show. Thursdays, obviously, nobody streams on Thursdays because everybody gives way to Ken. That's like the grand finale. That's the Mac Daddy of shows, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's owned that slot for what, like 3,000 shows in a row now?
Something like that. It's some obscene amount of time. So
basically since the beginning of time.
Right. So, you got to be an absolute idiot if you're going to try to compete in that time slot. Right?
Yeah. Or have a different subject matter.
No, you're an idiot if you try to compete in that time slot. If you're in the drone scene,
if you're in the drone,
if you're in the drone scene and you're trying to compete in the Thursday Night Live time slot, you're a fucking idiot. Okay? Just flat out. There's no point. Now, when it comes down to it, you have Tuesday, Monday. Monday, there's nothing really going on. I used to stream on Mondays, but Mondays just doesn't feel as good or as natural as Wednesday.
Yeah,
I think it's because like on Mondays everybody's like, oh, back to work.
I hate Monday.
Just kind of like it's not.
You guys are ruining my bubble here. I was thinking of starting a
Ken
show on
says
Mondays.
tomorrow is show number 161.
161. Dang.
161. It's been a while.
I can't believe the internet has been around that long, Ken.
Right, I know.
Yeah, I've been wanting, now that I'm finally getting this stuff set up, I've been trying to figure out a way to do this. But shows by yourself can be pretty boring sometimes. Luckily, I don't have a problem talking. Like last night,
we know.
Yeah, last night I think I was trying my gear out for 10 minutes. Next thing you know, 2.5 hours later, I'm still trying it out.
Yeah, we're aware of that, Sean. Sometimes I honestly don't know about you.
You know what? My dad said we could stay there the next night, but I'm gonna go back on that. Actually, no, you're gonna do that.
Here's the thing about your dad. Your dad and I get along really well.
Gina's. You think no eyebrows from Gina? It's gonna be much.
We're in the same industry, so we have a lot in common. We hit it off pretty well.
The retired industry.
No, not the retired industry, asshole. The IT industry. So we hit it off relatively well. I thought it was good. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Your father's property is the perfect place to fly FPV. Like it is the dream location to fly FPV. It absolutely is. So I'm really excited about doing that. It's gonna be like sort of bittersweet because obviously no spin down directly afterwards, but it will be cool to go out to Colorado, I guess.
For the few of us, there will be because we're all getting together the day after to go.
Well, yeah, of course, but I'm excited for spin up. Oh shit! I guess this is a good time to sort of start plugging this. So check it out, guys. Kelly and myself and Sean, we put together this idea that we're going to do this drone awards show, right? And it's not limited to YouTube creators, that it's actually for anybody really, right? So in the first, Sean, can you pull that link up for me, please?
Which
First Friday link that Kelly put out. Anyways, in the first Friday link, Kelly put out some categories that you can nominate people for. Your favorite drone vlog, your favorite cinematic, your favorite FPV pilot, your favorite tutorial, and your drone person of the year. And what you were supposed to do is email your nominations to contest@readysetdrone.com. And what's going to happen is this week, it has to happen this week, Sean, we're going to put out a Google Drive link with the nominations in each individual category. And what's going to happen is you're going to get to vote on those categories. And then at Spin Up, we're going to announce the winners of those categories. And I think we just settled on the prizes are going to be a plaque, a $25 gift card to Carrabba's, and a $10 gift certificate to Payless Footwear, where prohibited. and still open. I think that's what we're going to do.
So I'm only seeing on his last Friday, I'm only seeing the contest for doing the Ready Set Drone song.
No, scroll down past the thing. Scroll down,
song?
you'll see it. Scroll down.
At the very end, it's join Ready Set Drone Flight.
No,
Crew.
damn it, Sean. What are you doing, Sean?
I'm on his YouTube channel. Is that the wrong spot?
Bitch. No, Sean. Ready shot drone.
Ready shot drone. Ready shot drone.
I was gonna say that's starting to go.
No, it's here. I've got it. It's fine. Where's the first Friday?
You're not talking about his YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm talking about his YouTube channel. Sean, what the hell's wrong with you?
I'm looking at his YouTube channel.
I'm looking here. First Friday. Where the hell does he have that?
First Friday, August 7th, 2020.
There it is. Yes, there it is. Sean, if I find this, dude, you were just the worst.
I'm the worst.
Right here. It says right here at the very end, Sean. Jesus
very end.
Christ.
I'm at the very end. Join the Ready Set Drone Flight Crew.
No, here, just above that, it says send your nominees for the Drone Awards to. God, Sean.
I thought there was a link that you were looking for.
No, it's not a link. This is it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is right here. Because I got to plug this again. Shit, it's telling me it's telling me that it's too long.
Yeah, I posted it.
Let me try to shorten this up here. There it is. So there it is. The Drone Awards. You got to send your nominations to contest at Ready Set Drone. Please make sure this is in this week because I'm trying to coordinate all this shit. Here's the categories. You have best cinematic drone content, best drone tutorials, favorite FPV pilot, favorite drone vlog drone. I don't even know what the fuck I just read. Favorite drone vlog. And then it's the last category can be for anybody. It's your drone community person of the year. Drone community person of the year.
And weren't we talking about having a couple of new subjects also added to it?
No, we're not complicating shit, Sean. You couldn't even find it.
At one point you wanted that.
Yes, I did, but that's going to be next year.
Okay.
So let's get this year off the ground. So here it is. So Albuquerque.
Jake. It's like Jake's watching Albert and Costello. Wasn't that who it was? The two of us going back.
Avid and Costello.
That was trippy.
Yeah.
So anyways, so what you do is you go through, you nominate your person, right? You nominate. So that's going to get them into the category. So if I'm going to take the top nominees, I'm going to build a Google Drive link where you're going to vote on each individual person, right? Before the show on September 12th, which is Spin Up, in between each intermission, we will announce the winners. Now we got to get this going off the ground. If we don't get enough votes for this specific Drone Awards, so I don't know. I think of shit so late. We're not going to be able to get it off the ground. Otherwise, I'm just going to basically just have to award people a bunch of shit. Like it's going to be a toss up between Russ and Billy for best drone tutorials, right? Cinematics. Who does cinematic drone? Sky High Films, I think, does some phenomenal cinematics. I mean, I'll just give them an award. Fuck it. Drone vlogs, it's a toss-up between, I would say, Ken Heron and yourself, Sean. I would throw you in there.
Oh, you can't have me against Ken. Ken would wipe his ass with
You're
me.
right. He will. So then we would give it to Ken. And you would get I would give you like a $10 gift certificate to Cheddar's
honorable
or something.
mention to In-N-Out Burger.
The honorable mention to In-N-Out Burger. Better luck next year, Sean. But that's the importance of people voting for this, because you want the people to choose the correct person for each individual category. That's the significance of this. So I hope that you take the time out to send your nominations in, because I'm pressuring Kelly. Hey, Kelly, who are the nominations so we can build this Google Drive? Is as soon as we get this information in, like I said, we're going to announce the winners at Spin Up. If you're tuned in, great. Then you get to see the first ever annual Dronies. And then maybe next year we can do this by itself and it doesn't have to be a Spin Up thing. We're trying to get it off the ground because every single online thing with YouTube has its own award show, right? Jacob, what are you doing?
Yep.
What? Playing with your... What are you doing,
No,
Jake?
I was just, you guys were fighting, so I was just gonna, entertain everybody else while you all fought. I just,
Oh, love it.
He's such a son of a bitch.
Oh, the three of us make a good team.
He's gonna sit here in Tiny Hawk.
Yeah.
I was thinking of like when you guys were talking, I was gonna go play some Galaga.
Dude, if you touch that arcade game while we're on the stream,
Do I have to
you
fire
will
the both
be,
of
you
you
will
at
be
this
sorry
point?
you ever came to Alaska.
I miss Paul so badly. Paul just did what he needed to do, and that's it. He
Ken,
didn't have a
I'm
drink.
not going to tell you how much Paul paid me to make sure your life was miserable
Oh,
tonight.
I'm sure.
Welcome
I'm
him
sure
back.
Paul flipped you. I'm sure Paul promised you all the discounts. All the discounts. Damn you, Paul. Damn you. So yeah, I think we'll rack it up here. We'll let you do your thing here. Will you do what you're gonna do, Jake? Sean, do you see what Jake's gonna do?
He's flying his tiny one.
Sean, we need to get you those glasses with the anti-reflective coating.
I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to spend the money. I'm spending enough money on skateboards. That's the least I could do is spend like $100 on.
Yeah,
or
so
just-
very least you could do, Sean.
Just put your light up high.
Yeah, that's an idea.
If you have the space, put it up high so it doesn't shine directly off in the.
I think it's the monitors of the computers that's reflecting. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that might be.
Yeah.
I don't know, Sean. Once again. So again,
I didn't need glasses 2 years ago.
that was short-lived, Jake.
It's a new thing.
That was so short-lived.
I'm playing on a 2S battery. And
Yeah, it's too much. I think 2S too much for inside. I've
It's
tried.
way too much.
Now if you
I'm
put
on
an
a 1S
Instago,
profile.
if you put an Instago on there, it's not too much.
That's
Not too
true.
much.
I don't have
Instago-
an Instago, but
Any sort of weight can neutralize a battery is what I've determined. The fact that you got this camera switching is just super professional. It's almost too much for my show.
there it is, way over there.
Are you using a GoPro or what cameras are you using, Jake, for your second one?
I use it's my A6600 here, and then my A7 III is the one
Okay.
over here.
I was actually thinking of setting up a GoPro from like a top angle or something over here. Maybe
Jake,
one
how
by the
excited are you
arcade
for
and
the
do a-
A7 III, Jake?
Oh my gosh, the A7S III. I
can't
am
wait.
like, I'm waking up at 4 a.m. thinking about it, wishing it was here already.
I can't wait for the A7 III. Like, I've never wanted a camera so bad. I've never been willing to spend money on a camera so fast, but this camera is a game changer.
It's for me, like, especially because all winter long it's dark basically, except for 4 hours a day it's dark. So that's
so
gonna be
cool.
huge. But to be able to go out and film like the aurora, the stars without having to mess around with all kinds of noise reduction and crap,
Yeah.
like I cannot wait to get that camera. It's
Hello,
gonna-
Brad Fogel. Mr. Brad Fogel. He's a trucker friend of ours. Travels the world and just buys a lot of gear. Well, I shouldn't say the world, the continental U.S., sans Alaska, and obviously Hawaii. All right. Well, I guess that's it. I should probably finish this video that I've been trying to edit. I felt slightly productive today. I did edit multiple videos, and then this happened. So, Sean, you got anything else for me?
No, I don't. Just that it's going to be a blast, man. And those who are not already signed up, I think did you mention Kelly's giving away free stuff during Spin Up if you're signed up?
I did not mention that, Sean. You just did though. Thank you.
Now, those who don't know, if you sign up for a certain tier, I think he's giving away like drones and stuff, like some Mavics.
Is that what it is, Sean?
I think so.
All right. Well, you're all about that spin up life. So there you go. You heard it from Sean first.
And I wouldn't mind knowing.
He's
what
got his
Jake
own
does.
Be Right Back. What?
You're about to get off. Why are you getting off the air so early? Usually you stay here super late. You're not drunk enough to start fights.
No,
with people.
Sean, that was only one time. My 30,000 subscriber special, I was absolutely destroyed. And what time did we start streaming tonight, Sean? We started streaming at 9:30.
Yep.
And then we started going on this. I don't know. It's the debacle. It's the.
No,
I'm. Sean's frozen. Anyway, Sean's out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I digress.
That argument was going nowhere anyway. So
I'm kicking him out. Anyways, so do you see Jay? Can you see him as well?
who?
Sean.
Right now?
Yeah.
No, I can't see him right now. I just
Oh.
see me and you.
I stopped just
Sean,
in time.
Yeah.
I knew
All
you.
right. Well, Sean, I'm gonna go to bed, man. I think I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna little prerequisite. I went out to drink or eat. I went out to eat with my brother-in-law and my buddy Jeff. We do it, like I said, we do it every Wednesday. It's guys' night, and I made an insensitive comment this evening. It was insensitive. It was a joke, but he took it so well that he paid for dinner.
Wow.
But anyways, I spilt beer all over my shorts in the whole interim of this. We're at one restaurant. I spilled beer. I don't even know how it happened, but beer went all over my lap. It was a disaster. We go to Chili's, and I had to sit there and drink beer with like my beer lading shorts. It was life is uncomfortable. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Fuck you, Sean. Okay. That's all. That's all I got. Hey, a little disappointed with my Beagle Neo 2 drone, OriginaldoBo. The controller sucks. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the controller, but the bright side is with any RC that you're not happy with, you can replace the RC. Best RC that you can get if you have multiple drones that connect through. What is that? Yeah, that's a Tyrannus.
That's
You
cool.
could.
And I have 2 more controllers upstairs.
Yeah,
because
you look like Jake. You look like me. This is my
Yeah,
RC
exactly.
wall. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got a Tyrannus Q, X9D, Jumper, T18 Pro, and then I have the DJI controller. So the biggest thing is with FPV is get a RC that you're comfortable with. It took me 1, 2, 3, 4 RCs to determine that I like the Tyrannus X9D Plus. That's the RC for me.
That's what I started with, a QX7, and I had the DJI controller, and then I got this one, which is the 9 Lite, which I pretty much only use for tiny whoops now. And my son, this is the controller he uses. And then I went to the Jumper T12 with Crossfire, and now I'm on the Crossfire Tango because it's small and portable and super easy.
You know what? What do you think of that Ghost?
It looks really interesting.
I don't think it's good enough to beat Crossfire. I don't think if you have Crossfire, you should worry about Ghost.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think if you weren't in a long range system yet, like if you're just using FR Sky regular stuff or something like that, then it would be pretty tempting because it looks pretty awesome. But if you're already in Crossfire, I see no reason to like cross grade to it or anything like that. I think Crossfire is still the best long range system out there.
You want to see something cool as shit, dude, with this drone that iFlight just sent me? I got to show you this shit. This thing's amazing.
And while you're doing that, Jake, tell me, what did you do on the ATM Mini to make it fade instead of just a quick switch like this?
Oh, so if you push the auto button.
So I can show this because it's already out there, but this is the iFlight Nazgul. This is the HD version. Look how cool this shit is when you plug it in.
Oh.
It like lights up, dude.
Yeah, they've started putting LEDs on there. Dude, I was like, what the crap,
how cool
man?
Is that shit? This freaking little guy right here. This is a 5-inch, and it's a True X design. Yeah, and it sort of reminds me of the XL5 a little bit, but one, it's bright, like highlighter bright, super bright, but it's on 6S. And it is probably one of the best flying drones that I have right now. Like,
so you're bringing that
that's just the stock one for my footage. iFlight.
Yeah, it's got the Caddx Vista in there.
Okay, because like after getting the stock Bumblebee and the struggles I had with the original stock tune and stuff, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to buy another. But it's good to hear that the other ones are decent.
So what I found is that their 5-inch versions are tuned really well. Like this flies. Like I'm not gonna lie, I have no prop wash. I'm very critical when it comes to prop wash and just the way these are tuned. I will say that when I got my XL5, I copied the PIDs out of the XL5 and sort of modified them just slightly into my other drones.
Okay.
Because I was so happy with the tune, and this is very similar. Like I'm really I'm really happy with the tune on this. I think it's like honestly, like this does not feel like a budget drone. Like I know they're marketing this. They're like it's like 319 bucks is the base price. So you can buy this for 319 bucks depending on where it's from. I think that's what it's for anyways. Banggood has stupid pricing right now. But anyways, it's stupid cheap.
Yeah. It is pretty good. I gotta say, like a lot of the iFlight motors I've used, I really do like their motors. They're great. Like the Unibel ones, they're like super beefy and powerful and nice, and put up with a lot of crap that I've thrown at them. But
I'm trying to look to see what they're charging for this thing. Yeah, $319 on their website with the Cadex Vista. All right, so right out of the gate, this is a freaking steal for $319.
Yeah, that's really good.
The Cadex Vista by itself is 149 bucks.
Lon says
so
plus
half
the camera mount.
Well, the camera mount. I mean, you can get any sort of camera mount. You can 3D print this.
Okay, so that thing you're holding right there, how much of it was built and not built when you got it out of the box?
This is it. This is everything I got in the box.
It came that way. The camera hooked up.
Yeah.
It came exactly. The only thing I had to do out of the box was put the props on and attach my camera mount. That's it.
Well, what the hell? Why am I under this conception that you have to solder and do everything, which I could do? I just
if you get it as configured, so as I have it configured here, it's $348. So the base price with no receiver and not the 6S version is $348. But if you go with the full 6S version, like what I have right here, this is $348. If you go with the 4S version, it's $319. If you go with the Crossfire version, it's going to be slightly more expensive. But even still, like that's still a freaking steal. So 330 bucks, 319 bucks is what they're advertising it for. That's a damn steal. You can't build one of these cheaper. You can't build one of them cheaper.
No, not like that.
I didn't realize they were to the point that they were coming pre-assembled to any degree at all. Now, I don't mind doing some touch up. The reason I hate soldering is I have many, many years of that's what I did, like all day, every day for years.
Yeah.
I hate it. You do something long enough like that, that's the fumes and the chemicals on your hands. You just don't want to do it on a day-to-day basis anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. Like my thing when I'm building a drone is the time that it takes to put one together. It's a pain in the ass. Like it's just time consuming. If something goes wrong, now you're troubleshooting. But quite frankly, when it came down to this version, the reason why I love Crossfire is as soon as you plug it in and you hit bind on your RC, Crossfire finds Crossfire. You don't have to click any buttons. You don't have to plug the battery in while you hold down a button. Like FR Sky is a pain in the ass to bind. I feel like they make you do too much legwork. But with this, it was really, really simple. It was super easy to use. And yeah, I mean,
are you bringing
I was really happy. What's that?
Are you bringing that one to spin up?
I don't know if I probably will bring this to spin up. I probably will just because I like the way this flies. I really do like the way this flies. The only reason why I may not bring this to spin up is because I need maybe I will. I'll print a Hero 8 mount because I can't use Real Steady Go with a Hero 7 with the solid mount. I can only do that with the Hero 8.
Yep.
Yeah, if you have a mount that works with pretty much, can't you just put like the adapter at the bottom? Like, hold on, let me show you what I'm talking about.
Oh shit, you're right, Sean. Shit, he's right. I don't even have to print. I don't have to print the mount for this.
Something like
you could just pin on a GoPro Hero 8.
Yeah, I don't even need to print a mount. You're right, Sean. I don't have to print a mount. I can just pin the Hero 8 directly to this.
Yeah. And if you bring that, I'll bring my GoPro Max and we'll mess around with it on it. Just
you're totally right. I did not even think of that shit. Is the fact that the Hero 8 has the mounts already built in. All I have to do is pin it. So
yeah. I can see one of Sean's first videos after spin up is Dobo destroyed my GoPro Max.
Oh, that would suck.
That sounds.
I love that camera. Like, I've got every action camera you can dream of, and that is the one I always grab.
That sounds accurate. No, I've built up quite a stockpile of GoPros recently.
Yeah.
Yep. I bought a Hero 8 just to be able to throw it on my FPV drone after my Hero 7 went down with my other FPV drone.
Now I have the Insta-1 R, but I again, while it's a super strong drone and it does great things like the stabilization is really phenomenal, I still feel like it's just not it's not good. Like it's not as good.
Well, the GoPro. Go ahead.
GoPro has the market. I mean, their tech for dealing with artifacts and how they handle the footage with artifacts is still better than anybody else.
Now, Jaren asked me, "Are you guys liking the GoPro versus the Osmo Action?" Now, that's an interesting question because today I film my talking headshot segments with the Osmo Action because for me, the Osmo Action does better as a vlogging camera because the attachment gets better audio pickup.
Yeah, it depends on what your use of the camera is. 100%, I agree with you.
It's true. There really is no one perfect camera that will do everything.
I mean,
really
the Osmo Action does good at what it
know.
does. I think once you mount it to like an FPV drone, I'm not sure. Like I get mixed results with it.
Yeah,
I don't think the stabilization is as good.
Everything now, everything. Like
I know. I've watched all your videos.
I love it, Jake. It's all I'm bringing with me when I come to Alaska. Nothing else. Just this. That's all I need.
Bring your Skydio.
When are you going to Alaska, Sean?
Sometime in October, I hope.
Bring your Skydio so our Skydios can have my Skydio's all by itself up here. No,
I'll tell you what, Sean. If you're serious, you go up there in October. I will take time off to fly up to there. Jake, you're out of Anchorage, right?
Yep. Yeah, fly into Anchorage.
I will literally fly into Anchorage and we can just sort of wing shit.
Yeah, you got to let us know. Send us hotel recommendations.
Okay.
Yeah,
or at least an area so we know where in Anchorage to look, and we'll find something.
I'll go up to Alaska. If Sean, if you go to Alaska and you go to Anchorage, I'll fly up there because it's just a brief layover in Seattle and bam, we're there.
Yeah, it'd be a pretty quick trip for me because I can only close shop for so many days. But
okay, that's all we need. We just need a quick.
Like if you guys can be on the ground for like 3 to 4 days.
I give you 3 days.
Hit up some incredible spots.
I can give you Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I have to fly out Sunday night.
And the thing is, everything up here leaves late. Like
that's fine.
It's overnight.
Perfect. That's perfect. I'll take a red eye back. I don't care. I don't care.
Sean's rethinking it now.
Sean, was that out loud? Sean, is it too real for you to go?
I've never heard somebody audibly go, "Oh." Like that before.
What? I'm used to the red eye. When I leave, every time I've ever left Vegas for CES, I've always taken the red eye because I thought somehow in my mind, mentally, I'm like, I'm just gonna sleep, and that's never panned out. So I've tried everything from edibles to you name it to try to sleep. And the last time I flew back from Vegas in CES, I thought, well, edibles are the way. You know what ended up happening? Was I bought a shit ton of onboard food, and I ended up spending like more money on the plane than actually sleeping. That didn't work out well, and I never actually slept.
Yeah.
So
I mean, look, 3 days would be great. If 2 days is all you guys can do, we'll still.
I can do 3 days. I can commit.
Cool
I may be able to commit to 3.5 days. Fly up on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, fly back Sunday night.
Oh yeah.
I mean, would that be enough for an adventure?
I can do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and leave on a Monday.
You're all about that Monday. You're all about that Monday leave shit. You totally like.
I'm closed. My studio is closed.
I know that, but you forget that us working folk are working folk, man.
I'm a working folk too, man. Why is it keep freezing? Is that my internet connection or something else that's causing that? That is trippy.
Doesn't it feel like you're in like some computer glitch thing or something where it's just like
Sean, it's your silly mountain internet, Sean.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it's your silly mountain internet. So all right. So October so one thing I got to do in October. I have to do this re-up for this 107. I've got to do it.
Oh yeah.
My recurrence coming, my 2 years coming. So I'm actually going to I'm going to use Remote Pilot 101 to study this go. I figure I've seen them enough. I took a photo with the Jason. Not really, it was just cut out, but I'm just going to use it because they have the best course right now. So Remote Pilot 101, I'm going to use them to study and take the recurrent. Hopefully, just be able to blaze through it really quickly, so I don't have to deal with that. And it's one less thing I have to worry about. So,
have you guys heard about this FPV drone park they're building a few hours from where I live?
No, because nobody wants to go to goddamn Colorado, Sean.
Tell that to all the people that have just been here cluttering up my damn city.
Well, tell them to go home. I mean,
school started today, so they're starting to go home.
I would love to go fly with Sean, but I'd have to have an oxygen mask just to survive there for long enough.
Right? He's like, "Oh, come to Colorado." Like, I'm gonna get off the plane. I'm gonna feel like a 250 pound man. Then I'll really know what Dan feels like. Oh, Jesus, that was shade. No, but seriously,
you say that, and I have a friend that lives in Denver, and he comes up here to go snowboarding with me all the time, and he lives in Denver, which is like around 5,000 feet above sea level. Comes up here. Yeah. We'll be walking from the car to the thing, and I'm just talking to him. I'm like, "Where the hell did he go?" And he's back there panting. I always just forget that I've adjusted to the altitude.
That's what I'm curious to see what happens when you come up here, Sean.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
You'll have no issues breathing. It might be other things, but you'll have no issues breathing.
The way I'm probably with all this travel I'm anticipated to want to do, I'll probably just have to take a leave of absence from work and just be like, that's what's going to happen, because I have to take time off to take this 107 test, because I don't think they're letting you take it online right now.
Yeah, I think that stopped.
I think that stops. So you have to go into a facility to take the recurrent test, which I think is only like 25 questions or something like that. So I just got to get brushed up enough to be able to pass that, and I feel like I'll be pretty confident.
There's no facilities by me. I got to drive all the way to Denver.
Dang.
No, that sucks for you. Yeah. I have a facility not far from here, so we will use that. But that's one of the benefits of living not in BFE. Not in BFE.
Food is a benefit too.
That is a benefit. So I like I said, I'm about going to Alaska. I got jaded out of going to Alaska.
That was such a bummer.
So, what happened was he went out there, and it was right before Corona when he did go out there. And I asked him, I said, how was it? And he goes, what's crazy? He goes, you wouldn't have had much time to do anything you wanted to do anyways, because you were going from store to store implementing the software. He goes, it was like an absolute freaking whirlwind. But here's the thing, like when I'm out traveling, I always find time to dick around and do something. I always find time. Even though I'm working, I still try to find time for fun stuff. Even when I was in Kansas and there was nothing there but Dorothy, and I still found time.
Well, it's like when I was just down in Chicago, I had like 4 hours between the time my plane landed and we had to drive to the site we were filming. Yeah. And so those 3 hours, we took a bunch of scooters and ran all around downtown because...
Yeah, I mean, great place.
Why not? Well, saw a lot of boarded up shops that have been looted, but...
Jake told me that October is the best time to come.
Why is that?
Because there's still ice caves or something.
So my thing is, like, if I go, like that. I'm torn, because October would be a great time to go up towards like Tennessee, North Carolina, to see the fall colors change too. So like as I'm driving through like parts of Tennessee, like I was in, where was that? Chattanooga. I was off 24. I looked to the right of me, and there's this freaking abandoned warehouse, what looked to be abandoned, in Chattanooga, right off the freeway. And it was graffiti and all this shit everywhere. And I was thinking to myself, holy crap, this is Bando heaven. This looks like the perfect place to fly. And I was trying to convince my wife, saying to her, I'm like, we have to stop there. She was not about that. Like sitting in a car while I'm flying with goggles on in a strange place was not her forte. But this place looked absolutely amazing. A massive warehouse. There was forklifts everywhere, broken windows. It looked like a degenerate's paradise, but I wasn't allowed to fly it. I hate traveling with family sometimes because they just dictate everything.
Yeah, on the way, when we just went to Texas, I was trying to stop at all these different places. And I did stop at a couple. I found this place that had all these fake dinosaurs all over it and filmed there while the kids and the looking at the rocks. And I made mental notes of all the spots that look cool, like that look cool, that look cool. And I'm going to stop on the way back when I'm driving back by myself, no family with, right? Because I was leaving them there for a little while.
Yeah.
But after you've had your vacation and you're ready to start driving home, you're ready to get the hell home. It's so hard to force yourself. Like I'd come up, I remember that abandoned spot. Nope, keep going.
But I wasn't like that this weekend. Okay, maybe it was partially because I really didn't drive. She did a lot of the heavy lifting. But I was actually excited. I kept wanting to stop places where there was a waterfall. And we ended up going into Georgia, and I found a waterfall, but the waterfall was a 1 mile hike away from where I was, and it was super foggy, but there was a lot of people. And my thing was like, if I tried to dive that waterfall, if I hit somebody or if somebody made a complaint, now I'm in trouble with Georgia, the Park and Wildlife Commission. So I was like, shit, can't do that. I feel like if I travel with certain people, I'm more apt to do things that are a bit more daring. Like when I travel, like when Billy and I travel, we push each other to do stupid shit, and not stupid stuff. It's well calculated, but you know what I mean.
Sure it is.
You're just more apt to do things that you probably wouldn't do if you were solo, if that makes sense. Jake's used to the solo life though. Nobody's going to report you for anything in Alaska, Jake.
No, but I had a buddy that was out flying his drone in Ketchimak Bay and somebody shot at it.
No, really? Wow.
Yeah.
They miss it?
Yeah, thankfully. But yeah, so there was a whole little scuffle about that.
Yeah, I'm always fearful about somebody shooting down the drone. Florida's one of those weird states where you just never know.
Yeah, and that's kind of like up here is kind of in very few ways it's similar, but in some ways, in the one way it is similar.
More similar than different, I'm sure.
People have guns and they will shoot at things just because they feel like it, and somebody shoots down my drone, we're gonna have a problem.
I would really like to get like a drone that's not $1,000, maybe like one of these fast little FPV guys, right? Something that's like $300, and make a video going out like having people try to shoot.
Here's the thing with an FPV drone, Sean. I think you're gonna have a hard time to shoot that down.
That's what I'm saying.
Going so fast.
You're moving so fast. I mean, on average, this little guy right here, this one specifically can probably hit, I would say probably 85, 90 miles an hour.
So here's the question, right? Easy. So it's illegal. It's a federal offense to shoot down a drone, right? Somebody else's drone.
Yep.
Well, you got to be registered, though. You have to be registered.
What if you shoot down your own drone? Totally legal, right?
I imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a video idea. You guys teach me to fly FPV, and we'll make it happen.
Well, didn't what was his name? The guy who does all kinds of blowing up stuff. He's been on Ken's channel a couple of times.
Chris Rollins.
Chris Rollins. Didn't he shoot down a drone?
No,
I believe so. They legally shot down a drone. Yes.
Well, he beat me to it then.
But it was a Phantom. It was not an FPV drone.
Yeah.
So now you're fueling future content for Ken. Next thing we're going to see is tomorrow. He's trying to blow up an FPV drone out of the air.
It's going to be either one of those flamethrowers from Elon Musk's company, or you got to have some big, huge shotgun with a bunch of bird shot in it to try and take it down.
Something else I've always wanted to do in the winter is go up when everything's coated in snow and put a whole bunch of fingernail polish remover all over a drone and fly it around at night, lit on fire.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, Sean, what the fuck are you? Really? Who does that?
Me.
Stop that. Just stop, Sean. Stop. Go home. Quit.
I am home.
Knock it
Luckily,
off.
I'm at home.
Knock it off, Sean. All right. On that note, it's 11:36. We've streamed longer than I've ever had. Sean's playing Galaga at this point. Jake, thank you so much for filling in for producer Paul this evening.
Hey, thanks for having me.
A gentleman and a scholar. Sean, thank you for being such a degenerate and a terrible guest as you normally are. I appreciate it. If you already don't know the channel, it's Sean Oz, World of Oz on YouTube. He produces a lot of videos, which you'll probably unsubscribe from him anyhow. So please go ahead and subscribe and then unsubscribe to Sean as you normally would. No, I'm just joking. I love Sean. Be sure to show him some love. And then, of course, if you don't know Jake, check out Jake Sloan's channel because he produces a lot of fantastic content surrounding around a solo creator. You guys that don't have anybody to rely on, this is the guy that you need to lean on because he's showing you how to create awesome content with just yourself. You and I, there you go. And he's pasting the links, and you guys paste the links because you're doing the things that producer Paul usually does. So show them some love because like they totally deserve it. They produce phenomenal content. Sean produces some content sometimes. Sean sucks most of the time. Sean, you're fired. You're fired as a friend. No, I'm just joking. I love you, Sean. I don't know what he's doing. Greasing the pool. All right. Anyways, fuck you, Sean Oz.
Hey, ho. I gotta hijack your shit.
What are you hijacking? All right.
Did you see the video I just put up about vote for me? I'm gonna change. Oh shit! You put me by myself. Those of you who know me know I'm a tattoo artist. My shop, Summoning Tattoo, has been nominated for Best Tattoo Studio in Summit County. I just put up a video called "Please Vote for Me" or something like that, or "I Need Your Vote." It's a really cool, short little like 3-4 minute video. Shows how the shop was built to some degree and some of the really cool drone shots here in Summit County, and has a link to voting. If you guys want to help support me on that, it would be very helpful, very, very much. So that's all I got to say.
That was a shameless plug, Sean. That was shameless.
I had to.
All right, so there you go.
Vote, my YouTube channel. It's for my shop. It's different.
All right, vote for Sean's business because obviously it helps him out tremendously. There's 57 of you, so I expect 57 votes. Plus 6 and 7 equals 8. All right, that's it. That's Drone Brews. We'll be back next week with another drunken mess. I'm surprisingly tame for how much I've drank tonight. I still just the fade away. Just I don't know how you guys do that. You just fade like
at the same time. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Bye, guys. All right, that's Drone Brews. That's the show. That was Jake and Sean and blah 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 blah. And all right, fuck it. Thanks for watching. Stay original.
React if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. Yeah. React if you have to. Yeah.
And she takes one down and passes her around, and 99 cold cliffs left on the brown. And then if you drink it all, you're clearly not producer Paul. And you could have it all. I need an FX. And I need an FX. And an FX and FX. There it is. And I'll shut that off. I'll put on a fucking hard tune and let's do this. All right. All right. Son of a bitch. All right. You just stick around. Like you leave the show and then you just come back and then there's more. Take that out of my ear. Training hard. Look at this. Look at this. See, I'm training for my fight. Call this double fisting, Dan. Something only men can do. I don't lift dumpsters. I throw shit in them. Fuck you, drone worship. Fuck you. Stay original. God damn it. Wrong button. Wrong button. Damn it.
Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. React if you have to, yeah.